Hey everyone, so you're taking Intro Physics at UM? You are in exactly the right place. This is your go-to guide for absolutely crushing the lab component, PHY 106. We're going to break down everything you need to know to have a super smooth and successful semester. Ready? Let's get into it.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. Think of it like your own personal journey through the course. First, we'll start with what it's like on day one. Then we'll zoom out to see the whole semester. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of your weekly routine, go over the super important lab rules, and wrap it all up with the thing you're probably most curious about, your grade.
Okay, Section 1, Welcome to Physics Lab. Let's paint a picture of what you'll see when you walk through that door. First things first, what exactly is Phy 106? Well, think of it as the hands-on, get your hands dirty part of your main physics class. It doesn't matter if you're in Phy 101, 201, or 222, this is where all those abstract ideas from your lectures become real. You actually get to see physics happen. You're definitely going to be doing a lot more than just taking notes. The lab is a really intimate setting, a max of 18 students at a time, and you'll be working in pairs. So yeah, this is not one of those giant lecture halls. You'll actually get to know your lab partner and your instructor. And speaking of instructors, you'll meet yours on the very first day. Oh, and a quick heads up. If you have any of those big registration questions, Dr. Olga Kordakova is your point person.
All right, moving on to Section 2. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the big picture, your roadmap for the whole semester. This will help you plan everything out.
Okay, here's the 30,000-foot view of your semester. You're hitting the ground running. Your first experiment is the week of August 25th. You'll get a couple of nice breaks for Labor Day and fall recess. Definitely circle those on your calendar. All the lab experiments wrap up around mid-November. And check this out. There's a built-in makeup week at the very end. It's a great little safety net, just in case.
So, what's the magic number? You'll be doing a total of 10 experiments this semester. 10, and each one builds on the last. Now, for the full play-by-play of what experiment is happening each week, your syllabus on Blackboard is going to be your best friend. Make sure you check it.
Okay, Section 3. This is where we get super practical. I'm talking about the step-by-step weekly routine for every single one of those experiments. Honestly, this is your secret formula for success.
It's a really simple 5-step loop, and it all kicks off before you even step foot in the lab. First, you've got to log into Blackboard and look over the documents for that week. The most important part? You have to print out the last few pages and bring them with you. That's a must-do. Then, during the lab, you and your partner will fill out those pages together. When you're done, you just hand it in to your instructor before you head out. And then, a little while later, you can pop back onto Blackboard and see your grade out of 100. Easy, right?
All right, let's talk about Section 4, the rules of lab. And listen up, because this stuff is absolutely non-negotiable. These rules are here for one reason, to make sure everyone is safe and can actually get their work done. The safety rules are pretty simple, but they are super strict. Let's start with the do's. Always, and I mean always, wait for your instructor to be there before you go in. Make it a reflex to double-check any electrical connections before you power anything on. And if you see any damaged equipment, say something right away. Now for the don'ts. Don't ever go into the lab by yourself, and this is a big one. No food or drinks, at all. And of course, don't mess around with the equipment. It's all about keeping you and everyone else safe.
Okay, now for attendance. I'm not going to lie, the policy is incredibly strict. The department doesn't mess around with this. You just need to burn 2 numbers into your brain. The first number is 1, because just one unexcused absence will cost you a full 10% of your final grade. Think about that. That can literally take your A down to a B. Just poof, gone. Okay, so that's the first number. The second number you need to remember is 4. If you miss 4 or more labs without an excuse, that's an automatic F in the course. No questions asked. The takeaway here? It's pretty simple. Just show up.
But look, we all know life happens, right? So what's considered an excused absence? We're talking about things like official university events. You'll need that letter, or if you're sick and have a doctor's note, or a death in the family. But here's the part you can't forget. An excuse only works if you reach out to your instructor with the paperwork to schedule a makeup. You have to be proactive. Communication is key. The university also has a policy for religious holidays, which is pretty straightforward. You won't get penalized for observing, but you are still on the hook for the coursework. The most important thing here is giving a heads up. You absolutely have to tell your instructor within the first 3 days of class. That way, you can get a makeup arranged ahead of time. And here we are, our final section, number 5, grading and your success. This is where it all comes together. Let's talk about how all your hard work is going to translate into a grade.
You're gonna love this. The grading is so refreshingly simple. There's no crazy final exam, no complicated weighting, nothing like that. Your final grade is simply the average of your 10 lab scores. That's it, which is awesome because it makes it super easy for you to know exactly where you stand all semester.
And this is the official scale that'll turn that average into your final letter grade. You'll notice there are no curves, no surprises. What you see is what you get. It's all right there in black and white. So, the big question, when do you get to see that final grade? Go ahead and mark your calendar. The official grades go up on Canelink starting on December 5th. Okay, so we've talked about the rules, the schedule, the grades, all the nuts and bolts. But all of that is really just the framework. The real reason you're here, the whole point of this lab, is discovery. It's about seeing physics actually happen right in front of you. So the only real question left is, what will you discover this semester?